Right, let's get into it. Today we're doing a deep dive into the science of ice. We're asking what sounds like a super simple question: why do we actually treat injuries with cold? I mean, we all do it, but why? Let's jump right in.
So, what kind of magical process is actually happening inside your body when ice meets a swollen injury? Well, to figure that out, I want you to picture a sunny afternoon down at the local playground. You've got a 15-year-old kid named Rohan, and he's right in the middle of a super intense football match. He's sprinting down the field, going all out, but suddenly he completely loses his footing. He takes this really hard, fast fall straight onto the dirt, taking the absolute brunt of the impact right on his knee. Within literally seconds, a sharp pain shoots up his leg, and his knee, it just starts to rapidly balloon up and swell. His older brother rushes over, helps him hobble off the field, and they immediately head to a local clinic to see a doctor.
And understandably, Rohan is totally terrified. He's sitting there telling the doctor, "Look, I just fell, and my knee is already so huge, it hurts so much." And honestly, we've all been exactly where Rohan is, right? We see that rapid, painful swelling, and we instantly assume it means there's some massive, irreversible damage. In that moment of panic, the swelling just feels like the absolute worst enemy. Okay, let's dive into this, because Dr. Sharma calmly walks in, picks up an ordinary ice pack, and just completely flips the narrative. He looks at Rohan and says, "Don't panic. This pain and swelling, it's actually your body's automatic defense system. But the biggest cure is hidden right here in this ice." I mean, it sounds totally counterintuitive, doesn't it? He's basically telling us that what we perceive as horrible damage is actually a highly sophisticated defense mechanism. And even crazier, he points to a literal block of frozen water as the ultimate cure. So how exactly does that work?
Well, when Rowan smashed his knee, his body instantly sounded the alarm bells. It rapidly widened the blood vessels in that specific area to deploy this massive flood of excess fluid and white blood cells. It's essentially building a microscopic barricade against new germs. So that massive painful bump on his knee, it isn't just damage. It's actually a highly overzealous, fast-acting biological guard. It's like the body is rushing an elite emergency response team straight to the site of the crash.
Now you might be wondering, if swelling is this natural, protective defense, why do we want to stop it with ice? And how does ice even do that? Well, it's because ice triggers three very distinct, scientifically proven reactions. First, vasoconstriction, which is just a fancy word for shrinking blood vessels. Second, nerve slowdown, which numbs the pain. And third, metabolic slowdown, which rests the cells. See, ice isn't some magical sponge that just soaks up extra fluid. Not at all. It's a powerful biological trigger that completely alters how your body functions in that localized area.
Let's compare what happens before and after the ice hits. Before the ice is applied, those expanded blood vessels are basically like a multi-lane highway for fluid and blood to rush in, while the local nerves are firing off these urgent, panicked pain signals straight to the brain. But then, the extreme cold triggers vasoconstriction. The vessels rapidly shrink down, literally closing the highway and halting that extra fluid from entering. That stops the swelling dead in its tracks. And at the exact same time, that intense cold goes to work on the nervous system. It numbs the local nerves, slowing those urgent pain signals down to an absolute crawl. The end result? A dramatic, immediate drop in pain.
But wait, this third action is where it gets really, really brilliant. Metabolic slowdown. So while the blood vessels are shrinking and the nerves are numbing, the freezing environment forces the cells in the injured area to basically take a timeout and rest. By dropping the temperature and slowing down their normal metabolic working speed, the ice minimizes the stress on the tissue. It effectively protects the surrounding healthy cells from becoming collateral damage in the body's aggressive emergency response. Honestly, it's just such an elegant, multi-layered solution, all provided by a simple drop in temperature. So as Rohan sits there, seeing the swelling visibly go down and feeling the pain finally subside, he is completely amazed. He realizes, wow, so ice isn't magic, it works on pure science. And you know, it is so incredibly easy to take everyday home remedies for granted. We slap an ice pack on a bruise because, well, we've just always done it that way. But once you pull back the curtain and actually look at the cellular mechanics, the shrinking blood vessels, the slowed nerve signals, the resting cells, you realize that everyday biology is just elegant, fascinating science hard at work.
Now, I do need to give you one absolutely crucial precaution before we wrap this up. Never, ever apply ice directly to bare skin. I mean, you want to heal the knee, not turn it into a freezer pop, right? Direct contact with raw ice can be incredibly dangerous and cause what's known as an ice burn. That extreme cold can seriously damage the surface of your skin. So if you want to safely harness the scientific power of ice, always use a towel or a cloth as a protective barrier. So the next time you take a tumble or you see a friend pull out an ice pack, remember Rohan's story. Remember your body's incredible automatic defense system and that 3-step scientific process the cold triggers to bring real healing. Knowledge really does come from understanding the things we interact with every single day, which kind of leaves you wondering what other everyday, seemingly magical home remedies are actually driven by pure, fascinating science. The world around us is literally packed with hidden scientific wonders just waiting to be understood. Thanks so much for joining me for this exploration. Stay curious, and I'll catch you next time.